All right, this is the case. We're going to make an up and down counter so we can keep track of the total number of objects in a box, in a room, in a parking structure. We have up to count the items coming in, and we have down counting the items going out. Okay? Now, if you remember on the previous lecture, we talked about restricting the count to our maximum counter, so that's why we have those contacts there for counter full. And you notice now we have a move word in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to move the CVs and take advantage of the fact that the PLC can only do one function at a time in your ladder logic. It will do this rung, then it will do this rung, and then it will do the next rung and work its way down. It doesn't do everything all at once. Okay? So we will do or not do our up counter. Then this next function says take the CV from the up counter and put it into the CV of our down counter. Okay? And then the next part, we come down there, we do our down counter, right? We may or may not do our down counter. And then the next rung, it says take our CV from our down counter and stick it into the CV of our up counter. So the next time it's ready to go, it'll work with that same value. Okay? So let me see if I can get this all up here. All right, and we've got our counters and everything set up there. Okay. Now I'm going to go up one. All right. And you notice my up counter went up one. My CV says 1, the CV there. My down counter says 1. Again, move word. You'll see ones all over the place because all of the CVs are now identical in both the up counter and the down counter. So I'll push a few more in there. Up, 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 up. And you notice my down counter is tracking my up counter. Now, we'll go down. And you see now my down counter is tracking. My up counter is tracking my down counter. Okay? After I do my down counter function, it takes the CV, moves it over to the up counter. So the up counter will be ready when the PLC gets back to it with the correct value. Okay? You always have to do the move word immediately after the up counter. You do the down counter and then you do the move word immediately after it. It does not make sense to take your move words and stack them all in a row down there. It won't help you in between functions. Okay? So this function will operate on its CV. The move word picks up that CV, updates it, gets it ready for that function. This function may operate on the CV and counting it down, and then the move word moves it back up so the up counter can be ready for it. Okay? Now let's go and count up. Up, 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 up. Okay? We're up to 10. We're at our maximum. Now I want you to notice something here. I have the reset input on the up counter, but I don't have it on the down counter. I have a system input that you haven't seen before. Okay? I have the system input on a coil that's called always on. If you have a coil that's always on, that means this will never reset, will it? The coil is always on. That will always be open. This will always be false. There's no reset. Okay? I had to move that reset off here because tell me what happens. I push my reset button, that goes true, resets this to 0, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, comes down here, picks up a 0, moves that 0 into my down counter, right? It'll come over here. If that was the reset, that reset would be on, right?
Yeah.
Reset this, and what would the down counter reset to?
15.
15.
What?
it'll pick up the 15 and move it in the up counter. My up counter will be set to 15. Okay? So in the case of an up counter or down counter, a reset input will clear off the counters. You only do it on the up counter. Okay? In this case, we're using a system variable pound ALW underscore on. That is a system coil that is always energized, always on. Okay? So you can put contacts on there. If you need something to be on all the time, you use a set of normally open contacts and always on. They'll be energized all the time. There's also a pound ALW underscore off. So it's a coil that's always off. You can't ever turn it on or off, depending on which one you're using.
Do you have to put the pound in the...
Yes, the pound identifies it as a system variable.
Okay.
And you can see here it's %S00007.
When you create that variable, is it...
It's already
old?
created for you.
Oh,
Yeah, these are system variables that are already created. Okay?
okay,
And I'm going to show you that in the next one.
okay.
Okay? Any questions on this?
This for lab 7.
What's that?
For lab 7.
This is part of Lab 7. This is to get you ready for Lab 7. Yes.
If you don't need a reset button there at all, I mean, what happens if you don't put the,
If you don't put anything on here,
yeah,
then you'll get an error message from the PLC. You've got a dangling input, unconnected input. But I'll show you. Okay? Let's go and take this. Take that off. Delete it. And I'm going to bring that up here.
oh, okay.
And what we'll do is I'll do a check here. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And what does it say there?
One error, missing required.
If I look on there, let's zoom in real close so you can see that. Okay, missing required power flow input. I'll double click on it and it'll take me right to that function. Okay, and you can see, no good. All right, so it does need something to be on there. Okay.